Always happy to talk to this man. Jake Plummer joins the show. Jake, how are you, buddy?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, awesome breakdown the other day. Awesome breakdown, dude.
Yeah,
You and Nate do a great job with that stuff. It's fun to watch.
Hey, thank you. You know, it's kind of, sometimes we wonder who's listening. Kind of just trying to, break down some of the things that are going on so that everybody doesn't just knee-jerk and start waiting for the wheels to fall off when there are some good things going on, some really good things going on, and other little things that, you're constantly working on. Every team in the NFL, every quarter.
Uh-oh.
Fun. I like the walkthroughs. Getting outside is always a good time. It kind of brings me back to our playing days, me and Nate. It's kind of fun times.
Well, for those who haven't seen it, it's on Guerrilla Sports. Nate Jackson and Jake Plummer go outside, and they break down a particular play, a tendency, whatever. This week, you focused on Bo Nix in the pocket, and I watched that, and I gleaned a ton. I learned so much. It's not always about, getting untouched, and Bo Nix doesn't get sacked. But the way you described it, and you said it so eloquently, it's a great stat not to get sacked, but sometimes you want to get touched. You want to feel pressure because that means you're waiting until the last possible second for the receivers to get open. Can you expound on some of the things you said during that segment?
Yeah, I mean, there's times I'm seeing Bo when the play calling is allowing him to stand in the pocket, go through his progression, hit receiver number one out of the break, get to number two, and stand there. His linemen, they're working hard, as all linemen do, whether they're getting beat or not. They're working their butts off, and there's a few times I'm seeing where Bo is bailing and quick to come off of number one or not trust his vision or trust the flow and rhythm that is being established. And this is just stuff that all quarterbacks go through until you get to a certain level, and then you get a new offensive coordinator and you got to go through it again. It's getting comfortable. It's getting rhythm. It's gaining trust with all of your other 10 guys running the play. And there's moments, there's definite moments where you see the brilliance come out, but then lately in the last couple weeks, Bo's been a little quick off of his first read and bailing to the right a lot. Even when he doesn't need to, and there may be a little bit of a pressure feeling, he's quick to get out. And that's just got to come with trusting the guys around you and knowing I got the space to step up or hitch up and make this throw, make these big throws, get the ball into the interior, get the ball to the tight ends that are going over the middle, get the ball to number two coming out of his break. And I think that goes back to somewhat of the offense that's being called. I'm not sure as we watch, what this offense's identity really is. They run the ball some, and then they throw the ball some, and then they throw a lot of screens. So as a quarterback, all you really want is rhythm. You want to know, when the pass plays are coming in, get the ball to your hands quick, get it out with accuracy, and let your guys play. And we've, like I said, we've seen some great things, and I'm not trying to be critical on anything. It's just things that I know they're working on.
Jake Plummer with us. Jake, we've coined a term on this show called Sackholm syndrome, which we are stemming off of. Sean Payton hates it when his quarterbacks take sacks. Could part of this be he is so much ingrained in Bo Nix's head of don't take a sack, don't take a sack, don't take a sack, that Bo Nix's clock is sped up more than it needs to be?
Yeah, there could be something there. I mean, obviously when your quarterback's getting hit, taking sacks, there's risk of injury. But I mean, I'm seeing a quarterback that's quick to get out of the pocket when there's times that if he stands there, there's guys coming open. There's guys coming open in rhythm. And what happens after that? That's the stuff that I want to see. I want to see Ingram coming across the middle, catch the ball, and we really haven't even seen what Ingram can do with the ball. Nothing. We haven't even tasted or seen a little bit of a hint of what he can do post catch. And so I would love to see, some rhythm passing game and establishing a run game and working the play action and boot game off of that, and really just hang your hat on that. I watch the tight ends, especially Ingram, in slot running these kind of banana shaped routes where they're drifting away from the quarterback. And as a QB, there's nothing worse than that when you don't know where a guy's going to go. You're not sure what he's doing. I want to see when I was in the pocket, I wanted to see guys get their depth, plant their foot, come out of the break. Then I knew, okay, the safety's inside. I got this. I can throw this early, and now it's up to the receiver to go get it. So there's talent around him. There's talent in the room as far as coaches. I think to please everybody is impossible, but some offensive efficiency would definitely help in that regard because – and I'll go so far as saying you got a defense that allows you to take some risks and take some shots, and we're seeing Bo do that. He's taking some shots down the field and throwing interceptions, and then you hear the announcer, "Oh, you really can't make that throw." And it's like, well, yeah, you can when you got a defense that's balling like this defense is, but you can't rely on that. We need some sustained drives. We also need some good play calling. You know, the third one was what really rattled me last week when they threw the ball with Courtland Sutton, and it's like. It's 3rd and 1, you know, like at some point you put away these trickery, dickory do plays and you just hang your hat on the fact that we got 5 guys up front that can smash your face. We got a running back in Dobbins that's hungry and wanting the ball, and he's going to go get it. And then you got a guy like Harvey who's a slash type player. I mean, you can move him all over the place. So I'd love to see them just utilize these guys, and I think that's what this kind of extended bye week is good for. And then once they hopefully take care of the Chiefs, they got a bye week to go and really hone in on what they're going to do to finish this season out because they're in prime position to stay on top, and that's where you want to be. That's what you got to achieve.
You know, at least they're finally acknowledging Coach Payton is that there's something going on that they need to fix, and I think that's half the battle. And I may be over the top on this, Jake, but when I watch Sean Payton talk into his play sheet, it feels to me like he's reading the New York City phone book. I mean, it just takes forever. Have you ever had a coach that just fills you with too much? You're like, hey, man, come on, let me play the game. You know, I'm not talking about individual play calls, but just so much stuff because
Payton
he had that
early on with Mike Shanahan.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess Shanny did a little bit of that too, yeah.
Yeah, it happens, and you love that. You love a coach that's always scheming and watching film and got the, like I said, like Shanahan was like a mad scientist. He's coming up with plays that were years and years behind you that like, oh, look at this play that worked against Baltimore in the red zone, and we'd run it and it would work. It was like sometimes that big play sheet can actually, you know, paralysis by analysis. You got so many options that which ones do you pick? So we're picking a double pass on 3rd and 1. You know, like what the hell? How about just 34? Run 34, whatever they call it, right to the 4-hole on the right side of the line and go get a yard, you know. And I think thinking back to my career in '98, we had that. Mark Trestman, some of you may, you know, a lot of you know Mark Trestman. Yeah. Mark Trestman, great football coach, a phenomenal, cerebral, very smart, intelligent coach that I was blessed to have been coached by in Arizona. We were struggling in '98, and he had just that. He had all these plays, all these things he wanted to do, and he'd get the play call in with 12 seconds left, and I got to go up and orchestrate this under high amounts of stress with not wanting to get a delay of game penalty. So we finally we scrapped all that, and he started just calling plays off the top of his head. As soon as the ball was down, he would relay it through my helmet, and I'd start calling the play on the field. And we went 8 games there, made that, you know, historic run, cardiac cards, made the playoffs for the first time in 15 years, and won a playoff game for the first time in 50 years with him just calling plays. We were in no huddle the whole time. I threw for close to 2,500 yards in the last 8 games of the season. So we were rolling. We were playing. We were making 80 plays on offense, and it was beautiful because he wasn't having time to overthink. You know, let's call this. No, let's call this. And even so much so, I came over and told him, let's just run Hank on one of the most important plays of the game into this clinch the playoffs. I said, run Hank, coach. Huge New York Times, I like how you put it, like call sheet trying to find the play. And I was like, let's just run Hank. And Hank is a tight end over the ball. Receivers run 12-yard hooks. The back, one's in the flat, one's on a swing. It goes against every defense. It works against anything. And so we called that, got a first down, kicked the field goal, and the rest is history. So sometimes a coach can overthink. that's where players can step up and say, hey, we need to whittle this down. I'm feeling overwhelmed. And I think with the RPOs and trying to mesh the college game with the pro game, I believe we got a signal caller in Bo that can do anything we ask him. And if we're asking him to do too much, then we're taking away his God-given ability to just sit back there, process the progression, go through it. If it's not there, go make a play, young man, because he's dynamic when he takes off.
Jake, you're playing Kansas City this Sunday. We all know how big this game is, but you may have to play without J.K. Dobbins. It looks unlikely that your best running back's in the game, and we know the Broncos' offense has been struggling. What do you do? What do you do in that situation? You don't have your running back. You're missing key pieces. Bo hasn't been hitting the way Bo is used to. What do you say? What do you do in a game like this?
Well, you know you're going to have to play really well against Kansas City. The Raiders storyline is, they're winless. They're coming in. We should beat them. But this team is a team that's notorious for peaking this time of year, starting to build that momentum, and they're coached by some brilliant coaches that will expose your weaknesses, not only on offense, but also, blitzing you on defense. So it's going to take some dynamic playmaking. I believe you got to go to your guys like Cortland Sutton. Let's get him active early. Let's get these young receivers that are obviously hungry. Pat Bryant has been impressing me. Amazing how much he does for this offense and the things he can accomplish and moving him around. Without your number one running back, it still doesn't matter. You got to go establish the run game. You got to get the ball going downhill to stay in manageable situations and hang your hat on something. Let's not put Garrett Bowles out in the end zone running a route when we need to score. And there's no problem doing that once in a while. Hey, that's great. That's a cute play. It works. You get him a touchdown, but let's just get back to playing that football that we know we can do, and that's downhill, smash your face, we're better than you, because this is a damn good ball club. The Broncos have an extremely good football team, and if the coaches allow and whittle it down, I think that we'll see this offense start to gel a little more. I will say this. When they have had to step up, they have stepped up.
Yeah.
And that's a sign of a confident offense. Mm-hmm. I think it's also the sign of an offense that's struggling to find its identity through those first 2 or 3 quarters. Let's get that established. And sometimes it is. It's weird. It's sometimes better to be less is more. Let's let Bo drop back, take a 7-step drop, and sling the thing into some spaces. But then it takes him too, anticipating, staying on his reads. You see him double pumping a lot. Well, that first pump is when he thinks he should throw, and the second one is when he does. And a lot of times that gets you in trouble. It's like walking to the tee box and you're like, oh, I should hit my 6-iron. No, I'm going to hit my 7-iron. Then you change your mind and you hit your 7-iron and you're short. You're like, damn it, I should have gone with my 6-iron. That first thought is usually right. So, Bo is playing his ass off. This team is 8-2. The defense is solid. Even Sertan not being there, they're still balling. All signs point to this continuing, but teams like Kansas City will come in here and expose your weaknesses, and that's where, they got to be ready and play 4 full quarters, and it'd be nice to see. Also, special teams. It's been a little bit inconsistent, but there's been big plays being made. So tightening up everything this time of year is tough because all the bodies are banged up. It's hurting. You're hurting going to practice. There's no 100% anymore. You're running at 88%, hopefully, nursing injuries and trying to keep that energy level up. And so this is where the whole team comes into play. Even the guys that are scheduling the bus trip to the stadium for a road game, everybody is involved right now to make everything run in a cohesive way. And I'm excited. I think this team's got a lot of opportunities ahead of them. And like I said, they believe in Bo, and that's one of the most important things is that your team believes in the number one there. And when you got that, anything's possible.
Hey, keep the videos coming. You and Nate do a great job. We'll pump you up every time we see him. Tell him we said, hey, someday we'll tell you about the story where you picked up Brett on the side of the road in L.A. someplace and took him. So that's a long story. Also, we're going to steal. I specifically am, but I think we as a show are going to steal Trickery Dickory. Is that
no,
cool?
it's trickery, dickory, do.
It's trickery, dickory, do. That's what we're doing.
It's a spin-off of Andrew Dice
trickery,
Clay.
dickory. We don't need no more trickery, dickory. Let's just hand the ball off downhill in your face football. That's what I want to see.
Love it.
Jake Plummer. Join us occasionally.
Right on,
Let's
guys.
do it again soon.
Right on,
Jake. Thanks,
Talk
man.
to you, buddy.
All right, Pete. Peace, love, and mushrooms.
There
Right
you
on,
go.
That's right, baby.
Jake Plummer.